All right, good morning. Wow, it seems like it has been so long, and it has been several weeks because Christmas Day was on a Tuesday and New Year's Day was on a Tuesday, and it just didn't seem quite right. Matter of fact, my family was there, and I really didn't get online or do much posting at all. Sort of went dark, as we say in Las Vegas, for the whole week of Christmas, a little before that actually. Between Christmas and New Year's, because I wanted to just really enjoy all of that time with my family. So good morning, Christy. Good morning, Allison. How are you? Did you have a nice holiday? Yay, yay. Good morning, Donna. Hey, Allison, I need to send you a message later. Connect with me later on and remind me that I need to reach out to you because I'm thinking of it right now and I don't want to forget later, just to kind of do a little private messaging for a quick minute. So anyway, all right. So yes, good morning. So tell me, did you have a nice holiday? Somebody want to reach out and just chat with me for a minute? I know I keep saying this, you guys. Okay, so maybe that's what I put on my list of things that I would like to do, is I want to work it out, because I know there is a way, I just haven't done the checking up on it, where we could actually talk back and forth more instead of just like little comments, but actually, a little more interaction would be really cool. I would love these Tuesday mornings to be a little more, a little more interaction between us. So good morning, Miss Kathy Weaver. How are you? And Tina, good morning. Tina, am I going to see you this week at one of our lunches? That would be great. Allison, it'd be great to see you too. We're back at First Watch today, as a matter of fact. So we're back at First Watch on Tuesday. So yes. Hey, Lynn Franklin, good morning. How are you? I know it is. Kathy, is that regarding First Watch? Yeah, we're real excited about going back there. The other restaurant was great, but it was a little further south, and I think it kept a few people from coming that maybe come from a little bit further up north. So is everybody that's on right now, I think, is actually here in Kansas City. Now, I don't know. Amanda, where are you? I would like to know where you live. Let's see. Allison had a family reunion. Gary's dad hasn't seen family members in 5 years. Oh, wow. Well, that is great. Yeah, it's nice especially when it's been several years between people getting to see each other. It's really nice when we can do that. And the holidays facilitate that a little bit. Although there's so much confusion and so much that goes on during the holidays, I'm thinking that I'd like to get my family all together on a time that's not a holiday. I mean, I love to have the holidays, don't get me wrong. But I'm also thinking it would be nice to have a time, maybe, I don't know, in the summer when it's not a holiday, so you don't have all of that other trapping, so to speak, of holiday, and really can maybe just spend even more quality time with each other. But like I said, ours was great, and I was so happy to have the whole family there. Let's see here. Amanda, you're in Michigan. Well, cool. Welcome. I love that. Jennifer, good morning. I just love saying hi to all of y'all. And Allison, great. You'll be at Vegas tomorrow. I love that. That's great. Yeah, that location is turning out to be pretty good. I think because it's right off of 35, it's pretty easy for people to get to. So yeah, hello, Jennifer. All right, so what are we going to talk about today, right? It's been a couple of weeks. What are we going to do? Hi, Patricia. Good morning. Can you tell me, Patricia, where are you? Where are you located? I like to know. Many of you, I do know where you are and what parts of town and stuff, but Patricia, I don't know. There we go. All right, so if some of you have been on the Facebook page, on my personal page, which is where you are right now, and if you scroll down, you'll see that earlier in the week I posted a picture that has all these words on it. And my thing to everybody was, what is your word for the year? And just to give a heads up for those of you that are coming to any of the lunches this week, we're going to talk about that. So what is your word? So if you haven't picked one yet, you can think about that, because I would like for you to respond to that at the luncheon. So just think, you get to know a little bit ahead of time what the question of the day is going to be. James, well, good morning. And Deanna, oh my gosh, nice to see you. Now, let's see. Nikala. I wish I knew how to say that correctly. I love the name. You could break it apart phonetically for me and tell me how to say your name so I could say it correctly. All right. So if you were to look, and I'm not talking about, y'all, I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. I'm not talking about, because I think most of the time they're just kind of a waste. They do make us stop and think a little bit about what we want to do different for the next year, and maybe look at a couple of what our goals are, but they're not very effective, because today is already what, the 8th, and I would venture to say that already there's those of us, those of you, whatever, who have made a New Year's resolution and have already broken it. So it's like, those don't seem to work too well. But I do find, and I've done this for the last, I have to think back how many years, but numerous years. I think it could be getting close to 8 or 10, something like that. Maybe I could go back and check. And I just pick a word that I want to be my focus for the year. A number of years ago, I think back in about 2011 and 12 possibly, I used the same word because I didn't get enough of it the first time, and that was release. And I had so much to release, and a lot of it was, I hate to use this word, but I had to release control, or actually it was releasing what I thought I had control over, because the truth was I did not have any control over many of the things I thought I did. And so it was a process of me releasing mentally the things that I thought I needed to control, or admitting and realizing that I didn't have control over anyway. So why was I getting so like upset or freaked out or whatever? And I know there's at least one person on here who has a little bit of those control things just like me. So anyway, so it took me 2 years, and not to say that I'm not continually trying to release those things in my life that hold me back. But that doesn't have to be my main focus anymore, but literally it did take 2 years to do that. There was one of the years that I picked discovery, because I just wanted to be on a journey of discovery of what God had for me, where I was going in my life, and what were some of my next steps. So think about that, and what is it in your life? And I've had a couple people say they picked 2, and that's great. You can pick as many as you want, but the smaller the number, the more focus you'll have. So you may want to have a particular focus for your business life and a different focus for your personal life. But I have found that very often the same word works for both, or it's a variation of that same word. So you might, as you're looking and thinking about that, and you can go back to, like I said, if you scroll down my page, we've had great response. That's the best ever. I'm just so excited about that. And I know there's a couple new ones today that I haven't responded to, and I'm responding to every single one. So, and if I've missed you, like I said, if you did it yesterday, I probably haven't responded to you yet because I wasn't able to get on last night. But I just love it. And some of the words, just to give you guys some things to think about. And hold on just a second. Let me say another hello. Hello, Pamela. How are you? It is great to see you. And I think you were one that did actually post one on our page. So some of the words that people have chosen have been just awesome. And if you want to give me a reason why, and you could do it like right now, you don't have to wait. You could go on here and tell me what your word is, and maybe a little sentence as to why you chose it. One of the words someone picked, actually was picked a couple of times, is courage. One of the ladies picked kindness, fruit, that she wants to bear more fruit in her life. There's another one is simplicity, and I think for many of us, simplicity, or to lead a more simple life, is a great word, especially if you find that you're running around all the time. You don't have time for yourself. You don't have time for relationships. All of that means you might need to simplify your life a little bit and realign, maybe, which actually is a pretty good word too. And so there's trust and change and peace. An advocate. One of the ladies just wants to be, she loves to advocate for others and wants to do that more. And yes, Pamela, yes, I remember now that you said that, joy. And a couple of people picked joy. Don't you love that word? I love the word joy. Because the thing is, you can have joy no matter what's going on in life. You can have crisis going on, you can have chaos and all that, but you can still find joy within your heart. Because that's where I think the difference between joy and some other words is that the joy is really it's a within thing, because you can have joy within yourself even though other things are going on outside. Hi, Amy. Good morning. So anybody else? So thank you, Pam, for sharing that. Anybody else want to share what their word is? I'm going to share with you with mine. And if y'all have read the post, you already know it. But it took me quite a while because I started out with about 10 words, and then I got it down to 5, and then I got down to 3, and then I finally picked one. So, because I didn't want to just do it because I said, okay, I'm going to do a new word for the year and just do it on January 1st just to randomly pick. I wanted to really give it some thought. And so I suggest that for you too. And if it takes you another several days or it takes you a week, that's okay. Because you're looking for something that just can be your focus. Because you've heard me say, and you've heard other people say, that you will move in the direction of your most dominant thought, right? Simplified version of that is what you think about, you bring about. So if your focus is joy, for instance, as Pam shared with her, that you're looking for the joy in all the things that happen around you. How can you, in the middle of whatever, the change and all those things in your life, how can you find joy? And if you're looking for joy and seeking that as your main focus, I guarantee you will find it, because that is just what happens. The way God created us with our mind. And Lynn, are you on here? Let me see. You are on here. I'm going to go back to you because Lynn is my neuroscientist first. She knows all and how the brain works. And there's just something about when you're thinking about something, your consciousness, or your subconsciousness wants to make true whatever you tell it. That's why your negative thoughts are so damaging, because the more negativity you put in your life, the more you say, I'm just not worth it, or those many negative things that we can say to ourselves. Your inner self continues to make that true because it doesn't want you to lie to itself. Now, Len could have a much better way of telling you how that really works, but that's my simplified version of it. So the power of your words is just amazing. I mean, that is where your power is, in your words. So when you pick a word to be your focus for the year, then that means that's what you're thinking about. If your word is courage or whatever your word may be, if that stays in the forefront, then your mind, your spirit, everything will work towards helping you make that change, make that difference in your life. So, minimalism. Who said that? Let me come back here. I see the word, but it doesn't tell me yet who said it. And good morning, Rachel. And let's see, Amy. Okay, somebody said, hi, Desiree. Lisa. Oh, Amy did. Okay, minimalism. All right. So you're trying to just, if I'm understanding your word correctly, you're wanting to just get rid of stuff, right? So maybe it could be stuff in your brain. It could be stuff in your house. You're wanting to minimalize things so that you don't have so much to take care of. You don't have so much pressure on you. Because the truth is, we are owned, you guys, we are owned by what we own. So if you look at your life and you're just not sure where to start because you're feeling overwhelmed and that you don't have time, or all those various ways of feeling, many times it's because we have too much stuff. Too much stuff on our desk, too much stuff in our house, too much stuff in our brain. So get rid of the non-important things. I used release, but I love that, Amy. That is great. Thank you for sharing that. So my word for the year is discernment. And I found, as a matter of fact, it's been a lot of years because my kids were still in high school. Oh, Amy, yes, stuff in my home. That is really great. You will find that when you do that, and I I don't really like the word downsizing, but I have released a lot of stuff over the last several years as we've gone through various house moves and things like that. And the more I got rid of, the freer I felt, because it becomes a burden. And when your stuff is a burden, what's the point of having it, right? So that's the way to look at it. So when my kids were in high school, and many of y'all can relate to that who have children and teenagers, we're well past that now. But my prayer for several years was for wisdom and discernment. And very often they go hand in hand. And in the Bible, they very often do. You'll see them wisdom and discernment, or understanding. Discernment's a little different than understanding is. But I love the word discernment because and this works in all parts of my life, both in my physical life, in my spiritual life, and in my business life, because I want to make better decisions, and really discern what is best, because it often is not between what's good or bad. Those are kind of the easy questions. Would you agree? It's like, good and bad is sometimes easier to discern. Well, of course, I'm not going to do that, right? But it's between the good and the best, better and best, good, better, best, right? What is it? There's lots of things that we can do and get involved in and say yes to, but they're not always the things that are going to give us the most joy, that are maybe not really in alignment with your calling of what God's called you to do. So I think for me, really just having discernment to know the difference, be able to look at it, be wise in my choices, and discerning. For instance, with my clients, I want to always go to my place of discernment so that I can be more of a help or an assist to you. Because if that is part of the gifting that I have as an encourager, but also to be able to help you see that within your life. What are your choices? Because each of you have so many talents. There's a lot of things that you can do, but what is the best? What is the best thing for you? What has God called you to? What is your wow factor? And I just pray God will give me the discernment that as I'm working with you, or whoever I'm working with, that I will be able to see that and give that guidance along that way, to really help in that situation. And also in my spiritual life, to have more discernment of just what God's will is for me, what the call is on my life, because I believe we all have a call on our life. It's in, as you know, one of my favorite verses, Jeremiah 1:5, that says, and some of you may be tired of hearing this, but it says, before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. So God has set us apart for great things for him. And I want to be the best me. I want to be what he's called me to be. And we're all on that journey. And it's not something that we wake up and there we are tomorrow. It's just kind of a continual journey, a continual day by day. So praying for that discernment in my spiritual life then, as well as in my physical body, discernment. Okay. And those don't seem like discerning kind of questions, but there's lots of choices out there, y'all. There are so many ways of being healthier, making difference in our life. And I want to do in all my areas. I want to do the thing, whatever it is, in whichever of those many areas, I want to do the thing that's going to have the greatest amount of positive change. I don't want to do 10 things that are going to make just a tiny little bit of change. I want to do 1 or 2 things that are going to have big change, big results. Not really, maybe the word didn't change. Maybe that will have big results. So, for instance, one of the things that for all of us is, for instance, just in our daily devotional time, our daily Bible readings, whether you sit down and read a chapter of the Bible every day, or whether you use devotionals, or you do some of both. That is a change that can have major life-changing impact for you. So if you're not doing it already, I would suggest that maybe that's something you consider. And just start with 5 minutes, you guys. It's like, I'm not going to go run a marathon tomorrow just because I want to be in better health. First of all, I die halfway down the street because I'm not in good shape. But I could begin walking a couple of times a week, right? So that's where the discernment comes in for me. And as you're looking at your life and what your focus is going to be this year, your focus may be better health. So then break that down. What does that mean? Of course, better health is really 2 words. So maybe it's just health, so that you know that if you're going to focus on your health, you're going to make better choices. But for me, and the discerning part is, there's low fat, low carb, low this, Weight Watchers, HCG. There's so many, I can't even name them all. And trust me, I've tried many of them. And so it's just, what is the best thing that's going to work for me to have the most long-lasting results? And so, like I said, your word that you choose most times can reflect into all of the areas of your life, which makes it really easy to have one word instead of a whole list of resolutions that you might not stay with. In general, for my health, is to continue working on my A1C. And I see Natalie's on here. Good morning, Natalie. She knows I've been talking about that for a little while. And, if I would just pick up the telephone and make a call to get my blood work done, I just still haven't done it. So I don't know if I've made progress. Y'all know last year I gave up sugar, and I did really, really, really well. So I had 5 cheats up until Christmas Day, which I pretty much gave myself permission. It's okay, I'm going to enjoy the holidays and kind of do whatever I want. But now I'm back on again. And this year I've decided I'm going to allow myself, because, we're the only ones who makes those decisions for us. So I am allowing myself 1 dessert a month. So last year I did not do that. I went until our anniversary in October before I had my first dessert for the year. Then I had 1 in November for Thanksgiving, and then I had more than 1 during Christmas. So I tell you, I'm really glad to be off of it, because the truth is it made me feel bad. It just didn't, it tasted good going down, but the residual effect wasn't so great. So, well, thank you, Natalie. That's so sweet of you. So, there are some things I want fewer decisions with more long-lasting results. So I'm going to continue the sugar. The year before I started on, drinking water every day. So that was a change with more long-lasting results. So and somebody asked me, so what's your thing you're going to add this year? And I haven't quite decided, because I know where I need to, but I just have to know that I want to commit to it. It's going to be some variation of adding more activity as far as physical, like walking or something. So it's going to have to do with that, something that I know I can commit to and actually can do for the long term. I'm not going to start working out at the gym an hour 5 days a week, because I know I won't stick with it, because I am really consistent at being inconsistent. So there we go. Particularly when it comes to exercise. So there we go. That's my thoughts for this time of year. What is your word? Think about that. How do you want to see yourself? How do you want to see your life, your activity, your health? In these next few years, I'm really on a 5-year plan. I really want to be better, and I am going to be better 5 years from now. Unless God takes me to heaven, and then I really will be better, because then I'll be with him, right? But on this earth, if I'm still here 5 years from now, I want to be better than I am now. And whatever changes, because I do believe it's the small changes that we make in our life that have the greatest long-term difference. And the example I often use is brushing your teeth. It doesn't take long to brush your teeth. A minute, 2 minutes in the morning, and a minute or 2 in the night, and we keep our teeth longer, we have less cavities, all of those things. Little bit of change with long-lasting results. So that's what I'm looking for. So the changes I make, I want to be a change that's going to have long-term results, and I'm not going to pick out 10, 12, 15, 20 things to do, because I won't stay with them. So my focus is discernment, that to just make those right choices as I go along all year, and picking the things that will give me that more long-term change to keep me on the path that I want to be. All right. I am so appreciative of you being here. Welcome back. We are back on our Tuesday morning thing, and I am trying to think. I think there will be only one Tuesday that I will miss, and that will be when the Fun Fearless Female group is on our cruise, February 9th through the 14th, because I don't think I can do a Facebook Live from the ship. However, if I find out that I can, I will do it, because that would be pretty fun. Of course, I have no idea what time zone we're going to be in. I don't know how that even works. So I'll have to ask Lisa Marutka. And we do have, oh, yeah. And Kathy, I know you're on here, so will you remind me at our luncheons to say this? We have one spot open. Someone is ill and is not going to be able to go on the cruise, and so we have one spot open that you can still have at the original price from last year, because we can just fill in her spot for that same amount. Lisa Marutka is our travel agent, and you can look her up online or just send me a message and I'll send you the information. But we need to because otherwise the gal that's in the room with her will wind up having to pay for a room by herself. I mean, and that is just not right. So if you wanted to go last year and you didn't think you'd be able to, and your life was different, and maybe your life has changed and you want to add some fun, come on, let's go. All right, you guys, thank you. Hi, Charlene. Charlene, it's just so nice to see you on here, and Tess. So you guys, we're in a new year. And it is always that time that we reflect back. Now, all I want you to think about is your one word to focus on this year. Keep in mind that life is not a matter of chance, but a matter of choice. Choose wisely. Go out and make it a great week. Go make the difference and focus on something that's going to change your life this year. All right. Mwah! Bye now. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.